Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.
Peace. Today is Sunday, June 2nd. Make it today's math.
Wisdom.
Peace. Wisdom is the wise word spoken by the wise black man that is God. Peace. Peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar, or some might say I'm Lord Jerome.
I'm Digga.
What's good, y'all?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm just over here sipping my green juice.
Okay.
How you doing? You got the SARS mask thing going on?
I got my SARS mask on. You know why? Because since we've been gone on hiatus, the God's gone viral. Let's clap it up. The God's gone viral. Now, don't get too close. I'm going to pull my mask down. Don't get too close. I don't want you to get infected with the virus. With the viral virus, the internet virus. It's not good.
I don't want none of your smoke.
Yeah,
I'm just going to sit over here and sip my
internet virus,
juice.
boy, will have boo-boo calling you names and all kind of shit, boy. Ugh. But anyway, before we continue, if you'd like to donate to the show, you know what I mean, to keep this thing going. You see we was on hiatus. We back to keep this thing going. Go to cash.me/$, you know what I mean, patreon.com/, you know what I mean, bounty.com/, you know what I mean, or yanadameen.com/support. You can also go to hoodg.com, cop you some fresh ass brand Nubian gear, Rah Digga gear, you know what I mean, Godcast gear. Also, this is what I want to bring up. Also, if you would like to advertise on the show, especially black businesses, okay? Black independent businesses. If you would like to put your product in front of a demographic that you feel watches this show, and you know, we have quite a few eyes on us, hit us up at you know what I mean, Godcast at Gmail. And yeah, we'll get you on here. Shout out to my people at the Black Lady Theater. They got their advertisement before every show, and we're so happy to be here. So yes, we're back.
My man, my mellow.
Where do I begin?
Give us the mic, because you know you eat jello.
Where do we begin? So, all right, let's get the dumb shit out the way, and then we can get into some shit that I know you want to really expound more about. So while we were away, as I've been doing for quite some time now, I've been sticking the screws to white privilege, and especially white privilege in hip hop, and the symbol for that white privilege, for me anyway, is Eminem. And so everybody knows I've been going at this guy for quite some time. For a few years, matter of fact. And it's nothing new that I've said about this guy. To refresh, real quick, I say that he can rap at a high level, but he's not the GOAT. He can never be the GOAT because, in my opinion, black people don't fuck with him like that. Been saying this for years now. We've said it on this show, I've said it on Vlad. People have commented before. Royce the 5'9" said something about it. Eminem finally made a verse talking about, you know, leave me alone, Lord Jamar, and all this fucking shit. And so now finally, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, Boo Boo, is gonna post a picture of me. And want to call me a clout chaser, and a bum, and he thought I was dead, and all of this negative shit that, quite frankly, I would expect. You know, the same way I expected Royce to defend Eminem, I would expect 50 Cent to defend the person that I guess changed his life, or as he sees it. So I'm not really here to try to sling insults, you know, I mean, we could get into that, but nah, it's not worth it. Well, we're not gonna do that. I would just kind of question why now. Actually, the thing has been removed. Whose phone is that? My phone?
There's something going on over there.
Oh. The post has been taken down, so that's something that lived on the internet for a second. But, you know, I just kind of wonder why now. Kind of when I saw it, like, did you not hear, you know, all the other times that I was screaming on the homie?
He might not have. You know, he's been, like, he has so much other, you know, he's marred with and entangled with so much conflict of his own. He might have missed it.
Now, it was interesting because while it was up, when you look at the comments, usually you would think that, like, you know, this is a big celebrities page and everybody on the page should be in agreement with him. But it seemed like a lot of people were like, nah, 50, like, what'd he say wrong? Like, what the problem is? Like, why are you going at the God like this? Like, I feel like it wasn't so cut and dry as I think he thought it was gonna be, as far as the response of the people. Because I still stand by every fucking word I say. Ain't nothing gonna make me fucking change what I've been saying. Real motherfuckers don't listen to fucking Eminem. Yes, he can rap technically. Oh, he raps at a very high level, technically. But content-wise to me, voice-wise to me, in those categories, excluding his rhyme shit, he's whack. To me. But that's subjective. Not everybody feels that way. But I'm telling you, the type of motherfuckers I be around, live niggas, and I'm gonna keep stressing this, live niggas, not corny niggas. Normally, we don't listen to Eminem. Are there some abnormal? There's always an exception to every rule. So I'm sure there might be some live nigga out there that, oh no, I listen to Eminem all day, every day. But that's abnormal. Okay? And when I say that, most people agree. You can't be the king of tacos if Mexicans don't eat your shit. I just wanted to put that out there.
You love that show.
No, it's real though, because Taco Bell sells a hell of a lot of tacos. But dude, is that what Mexicans really eat? Like as far as tacos and shit is concerned? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now they might have a good technique of how they put it in the oven and all that type of shit, but that shit don't taste as good as a real fucking taco from Mexico. Okay? So if Mexicans ain't eating it, you can never be the fucking king of tacos. I don't care how many fucking tacos you sell. And the same fucking shit goes for hip hop. If niggas don't really fuck with your shit, you're never gonna be the GOAT. Okay? I think 21 Savage just said Jay-Z is the motherfucking, what'd he say? Jay-Z was the greatest hands down?
I think so. I think a lot of people say that.
I think a lot of black people say that. But when it gets to white people, they say, oh no, Eminem killed him on his own song, which is debatable. And they'll say that he sold more. Okay? We're gonna get off this in a second. My whole thing though about this, right? Again, let me just stress, it's not that I have anything personal against Eminem. He just represents, to me, white privilege. White privilege. The fact that there's plenty of black rappers that to me rhyme just as good as him, if not better, and they're not even mentioned as being any kind of GOAT or anything like that, goes to show exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, part of my viralness, they're talking about me on Everyday Struggle.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
This is the most poised I've ever seen you in regards to this topic.
Good.
I'm loving this, Jamar.
I think because we got a lot out before the show.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if
you done drained me. That's what you need to do.
Yes, you know what?
She drained me before the show.
You're not talking about a bunch of other rappers that rap way fresher than him and putting them before him.
But you're not talking about them. You're talking about Eminem.
Because they're not talking about those black people as being the king.
So why don't we
White
use
privilege.
our platform to talk about them? Why do we keep using our platform to shit on Eminem? Why can't we use our platform to talk about those people?
Because it's not just because he's
Are
white.
they live niggas? Are they live niggas? That's
No,
all I'm gonna say.
not the ones I'm talking about. The ones I'm talking about. If you're corny nigga, I don't care how good you can rap. That's my point. You can be black, white, brown, purple. If you talking dumb shit, if you rapping a fucking tonation that grates me like fucking chalk, fingers on a chalkboard, you're whack. Give a fuck how good you put your words together. And a majority of black people's opinion, it's abnormal for black people to be like, yo, let's turn on some Eminem. That's abnormal.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It was not.
Yes, it is.
At one time,
No, it was always abnormal. No one, I never pulled up on any block, even in his prime, and Eminem was pumping in front of projects. Never happened. Ever. Ever.
That might actually be a ploy. No, because it's like, I don't think people so much like disagree with your message. I think sometimes the delivery may be harsh,
right.
and then the debate will happen, and it's like, then we'll start debating about something that didn't even have anything to do with the message. I just think sometimes it's your delivery, and but we love Lord Jamar for Lord Jamar. Like, if you are you, and that's necessary. I just think sometimes the message might get lost in translation because of the delivery.
Right.
But I don't ever want you to change.
Right. But to that I say, I feel like if you felt like somebody is trying to steal your shit, are you gonna talk nice to them? about it. Like, excuse me, sir, please don't steal my belongings. Like, fuck that.
No,
what
but
the fuck are you doing?
It's not.
Are you trying to take my shit?
It's not. But
my nigga, you better get your fucking hands off
it's
my
not
shit.
them that you have to talk nice to. It's your people that you sometimes have to spoon feed a particular message you're trying to get across. Not the people you're talking about. I'm talking to the real people that you want to receive the message.
I feel like they hear me. Hopefully they hear me. Because I'm that guy, which I was trying to say earlier that, or maybe you can understand this, your Game of Thrones Thronie.
Hey, let's go.
I'm in the Night's Watch. Huh? I'm one of the Night's Watch. Like, somebody got to protect the motherfucking kingdom. You dig? Somebody got to make sure that we don't go from Asar to Zeus. You see? That's all. Who's Asar? Who's Zeus? They're one and the same if somebody, when you really find out. But basically, Zeus is held up now, and a lot of people don't even know Asar. They know Osiris, which is white people's name for Asar. You see what I'm saying? Like we have to. This has happened to us so many times in history.
I think we have several gatekeepers. I just think everyone's method might not be the same. Like some people kill them with kindness. Some people hurt them with harshness.
Right. Am I heavy-handed? Absolutely. But sometimes you gotta be. But again, it's nothing personal against this dude. It's just they put him up at the forefront, so he's got to be the one. He's got to be the one we talk about. But I wanted to bring up, so on Everyday Struggle, they brought up this whole, first that 50 had dissed me and all this, and then they started talking about the whole Eminem, the whole debate about it. And one of the dudes was like, well, basically he's right. But then they had brought up someone like Tyler, the Creator. And I thought, you know what? That's a great example. Tyler, the Creator, is, to me, he's a rapper that can rap. Like, he's technically proficient as far as being able to rap, but I don't fuck with his music. His themes don't resonate with me, and I feel like real niggas don't listen to Tyler, the Creator.
He ate a roach in a video before.
Basically.
Black folks are running from roaches.
Thank you.
So,
right. I feel like the same argument I can make for an Eminem, I can make the same argument about Tyler, the Creator. Like, real niggas ain't playing Tyler, the Creator. Just like they not playing Eminem. But the difference is, no one's calling Tyler, the Creator, the GOAT. You see, there's plenty of rappers that I feel can rap just as dope as Eminem, but no one's calling them the GOAT because they're not white.
I will say this though, and this, I don't want us to go into a back and forth about it because I'm not. This is not like in defense of Eminem. But I do think that this person's the greatest, that person's the greatest. I think that just comes from people viewing record sales, measuring sales as talent. Like
remember when MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice was selling the most? Were they the greatest?
And I'm saying that
at that time.
Well, at that time there was a bar as to what's dope hip hop. Like nowadays,
no, there's still a bar. There's still a bar.
I'm saying there was like a clear distinction of like Illmatic, Fresh.
I don't even know Illmatic wasn't even out yet.
No, but I'm using that as an example because there was a time where like everybody across the board could kind of agree what was dope and what was whack. I feel like now it has become like there's so many subgenres and so many like variations of it that now it's like music is music. But once upon a time there was kind of a clear, definitive line of what was considered
right. So
dope and whack.
and so you're saying that at that time you couldn't use sales to make yourself dope.
Right.
Like
we
sales.
Right. We didn't care how much you sold. You
And
was still
I'm
whack.
saying that maybe I'm old school. Call me crazy, but I'm saying that sales still don't matter.
No, it don't. To real hip hop purists, sales don't matter. But the point I was making was I don't think that's specific to Eminem. I feel like whoever is selling the most, or who's topping the charts, or who's hottest at that time, people won't call that person the GOAT, or not necessarily the GOAT, but like the same way we just saw a few weeks ago, motherfuckers dragging Dave East for calling Nas X corny. Like, who are you? You didn't sell any records.
Right.
Where's your chart? Like, I feel like it don't matter who you are.
And that's my next viralness.
If you're at the top of the charts, like,
I should put this back on.
You know,
I'm very viral, yo.
you're considered,
Very viral.
you're
What's the
considered
time?
the hottest or the greatest at that moment. And I don't think that line of thinking is specific to white or black. I just feel like that's people that just don't know any better anymore, and they define talent with sales.
Trust me, this music industry is racial. It's racist.
Oh, absolutely.
It's racist.
Absolutely.
And
Nas X is an example of that.
So let's get into that. We're gonna segue now into that, but I'm just saying, like, it's all part of the same systematic machine, and the reason why they would call this motherfucker the GOAT is the same reason that they would try to exclude Lil Nas X from being on the country Billboard charts. So, so now the next part of me being a viral sensation, there was a video of a Vlad interview where Vlad walked himself into the motherfucking I don't even know what you call it, like what, the foot in the mouth, or what do you call that? He just walked into
foot and mouth disease.
Yeah, like
he just took the hook, line, and sinker.
He just set himself up. And this was not even nothing I set up. It's just he walked into this so crazy. And then I started seeing him, so he's telling me about how, well, I gotta kind of agree with the Billboard charts. Like, the reason why is if in hip hop, if somebody came and was, did a whole other genre and then, decided, and this is my Vlad voice when he's wrong.
You know how I knew Vlad was in trouble? You know how I knew Vlad was in trouble? Because you sitting there like, I was like, uh-oh, wait for it. I was sitting there like, wait for it.
Because he's like, and he said now if the guy had a guitar, and I'm like, wait a minute.
He was
he really
even
like understanding what he's saying now?
No.
And I'm like, keep going.
He was oblivious to the white privilege.
And maybe like, because when a siren or some shit comes by on his shit, they'll stop the whole fucking show. So that's why it came back. So I had to wait like this. See, this is how much patience it was. So I had to wait for the siren to go by. And now we rekindled it. And so I still didn't spring it on him. And he's like, yeah. And so I don't think that, hip hop would accept someone like that. I was just like, thank you, Vlad. I'm about to get your ass on your own show right now. You just described Post Malone, motherfucker.
That was epic.
What are you talking about?
No, you said, the fuck you talking about?
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you saw I tweeted Suede the remix guy. I was like, yo, can I please get the song for this? I'm like, can I please get this in MP3 form? I'm gonna need this remix.
When they do a how'd your kids, how'd your wife? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, you ever see?
Yeah, when they can
You ever saw Soulja Boy's one for the Breakfast Club?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The niggas hide the camera, the ride, how
fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was hoping he was gonna do it. I don't know if he did it and it came out, but I was like, can I please get the remix for
Apparently that clip, just that piece of the video, not even the whole video itself, had at least like a couple million views.
Yeah, it did.
On fucking Twitter. Like, this shit is crazy. I'm not even sure what the clip itself, what the numbers are, but it's a lot.
Now, you want to hear what's even funnier? I'm actually seeing people like, I'm confused because I hate Jamar any other time, but damn, that was so on.
That's how I get you.
So maybe
that's how I get you.
So maybe he wasn't so off with the other. I don't know. I think I need to listen to this again.
Exactly. And this is how I pull you into my fucking vortex, because that's how it all started. In the beginning, they was hating everything I had to say, and then I say some shit that, well, hang on, he does have a point there. You know what I mean? And just more of those and more of those coming. And I used to hate you. Now I fucking love you. Hey, I love you too. I love you the whole time, even when you hate me. How about that? What did I say? Oh, and before we go, they even had a great article in the Huffington Post about the whole Lil Nas X, and they went into the whole science of country music and, you know, how it's very far and in between, and, you know, black people, even though the whole roots of it, the sound of it, fiddles and banjos and harmonicas are African instruments that we brought to the game that they heard us playing during slavery time. Mm-hmm. We're gonna take a break, come back, and maybe we're gonna make you happy and
What? Why am I unhappy?
No, I'm saying we're gonna talk about something that makes you happy. Game of Thriggity.
Oh, I'm not unhappy. I'm here for you, brother.
But I'm just saying, Game of Thrones you get excited about, right? You call yourself a Thronie and all that,
yes,
right?
I am an official Thronie.
Not like a Jamari, I mean. Yanadameen Godcast. We love you. Yeah. Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got Team Yanadameen in the place to be.
What up?
Yeah. Damn, do we need to address that fact checker don't even be here no more like
He
that?
just said, fuck us.
That nigga went on to smaller and lesser things, but
not bigger and better. Rage, where are you?
Now listen, somebody gave him a life in a whole other state. I can't provide you a whole life. So I'm gonna say have to say more power to you, Rage. We still love you. Do what you do.
Rage.
Yeah, do your thing over there.
That sounded so.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I mean,
do your thing over there. Was that good?
He left us in a lurch a little bit, but whatever.
Okay.
We good.
Oh, Jamar,
before we move on, let's talk about Digga. I didn't get to talk about Digga in the first. You looking like a black Rapunzel, Khaleesi type of situation going on. What is this over here? I look like I could climb up the castle fucking with that.
This is my safe haven from the gym.
Nice. You could like tie a like some sort of cutlery at the end of it.
Oh yeah.
And use it as a some sort of wind. Yeah, that'd be ill. But
I could sweep. I could dust the table off.
I could do a lot of things with this here thing.
You know, I like I like experimenting.
Okay. Well, before we continue, if you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, Yanadameen.com/support, or bounty.com/Yanadameen. Y'all on YouTube Live, shout out to all our people on YouTube Live. Y'all can go in the description box, click on the link, and hit us with a donation on Streamlabs. We appreciate y'all. So yeah, like I said, you're looking a little Khaleesi-esque without the blonde. I'm glad you're not
A blondie.
doing that.
I did actually. I went through a blonde phase.
Well, you actually did do a blonde ponytail before.
I was a few.
But you're not doing the full.
A few points in my life I was blonde. At first I was putting blonde, like I started seeing like a little gray here and there. I'm like, oh, let me cover that up with some blonde, and then going through my motions. Plus, I think as a female celebrity or whatever, we be trying to switch it up and match our outfits and all that good shit. But I'm I'm of the more natural, the better clan. So I just keep it simple and black. Spray the grays.
You know what I noticed too sometimes? We never discuss what we're gonna wear prior. But somehow it seems like we always be matching.
You know, I'm just noticing you got the gold swirls. I got the
Look
gold
at
swirls.
the kicks go with that.
Yeah.
And the green and the hat and the black with the black. It's like,
check you out.
Like we got some sort of subliminal stylists going on. I don't know what the fuck. But so I mentioned your girl Khaleesi.
Yeah, man. Are you a Thronie? You're not a Thronie.
I'm not a Thronie. Here's the thing.
Who raised you?
Barbara and them. Barbara and Dorothy. But anyway, so the reason why I'm not a Thronie is because when it first came out, I initially tried to start watching it.
It's a lot.
But
it's definitely a lot to take in.
Now that I think about it, there was a time where I used to do something on like every Sunday. Like I had a little function that I used to do.
Oh, okay.
So that might have been one of the reasons why.
And that's definitely one of those shows where like
if you miss it,
if it gets too far ahead, if you don't binge watch it.
So I might have watched the first 2 episodes. Okay. I'm not one of these dudes that likes to binge watch shit. I've done it in my life. I binge watched 3 shows, and after that, I felt just almost dirty with myself.
I had to binge watch The Wire. I didn't watch The Wire until after it completely went off the air.
I binge watched Breaking Bad.
Okay, so did I.
I binge watched Walking Dead up to a certain point, like when it first came out, kind of.
See,
like maybe the first.
Walking Dead is another one of my shows. Episode 1, season 1.
Yeah, maybe that first season or 2, and then I also binge watched Sons of Anarchy up to a certain point. And I did all of these 3 at the same time.
Oh shit! How you do that? How you do
I'm
that?
binge watching 3 shows at once, damn near. It was not good. It was not good. And I just felt like I'm not binge watching shows ever again. Like, what is this? This is ridiculous.
Walking Dead seems like it would be a good binge watch.
It's too far ahead now. It's too far.
Oh yeah, now.
It's too far.
I mean,
so just like Game of Thrones is too far.
You're talking 8-9 years, yeah.
Right.
And then this last season, we actually had to wait 2 years for it because who's Thronies in here? Can we get a real throne conversation going?
He's the only one.
Are you a Thronie? Or are you like?
Yeah. More.
He's like, I know my shit.
No, I'm like, no, I need to know.
I know my shit.
Before we start talking, I need to know you can keep up. Okay.
First of all, I think it's good. We had a conversation on the way over, and I feel that it's probably good that I'm not a Thronie because you can now explain it to the people.
You like how I explained it?
Yeah,
okay.
You explain it for people that not just know about the shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, try to explain it for people that, a motherfucker that just popped up and never even heard of Game of Thrones before. But luckily, I'm familiar with certain characters and their names and little shit. Now, I did watch the final episode, though.
How many? Now this final season had 6 episodes.
I only watched the last episode and a little bit of the one before it.
Okay.
So I did see a part where that other queen lady defiantly cut off the lady's head.
Cersei.
I don't know who it is, but
okay.
Yeah, she cut the lady's head off, and then the dragon lady looked like, oh bitch,
Oh wait, let's stop right here for a second. For those of you who watch Game of Thrones, this next segment will contain spoilers. You gotta give the
motherfucker. If y'all ain't seen this shit,
if you ain't seen
by the
it
time
now,
this come out,
yeah,
motherfucker, you ain't no real Game of Thrones, and you deserve every fucking shit that you heard.
That's how I feel about all the recaps. I feel like the next day, if you ain't see it that day, your ass ain't no Thronie. Cause any type way. You fucking waited 2 years. 2 years. 2017 was the last season. Any type way, you waited 2 years for this damn season, and you ain't see the shit the day it came on. You're not a Thronie.
So let's get to it. This was the season finale.
This is the season finale.
The series finale. Fuck the season finale. This was the series finale.
Right.
No more Game of Thrones. So now, as someone who is all into this show, as I'm sure many people on YouTube Live and people that watch the show, I'm sure y'all fuck with it because my brother loves Game of Thrones, my nephew.
So you should,
bunch of people love
him up here.
I didn't necessarily know he's gonna talk about this.
Right. Oh, you had to know, god damn it.
I really didn't.
I'm throwing it. Okay, now. All right, so.
Were you happy?
Yes and no.
Explain.
Yes and no. Okay, I was happy because we got to see, there were some happy endings that I was pleased with. There was some characters who I wasn't pleased with. And I just feel like they tied everything up nicely.
That's what I was gonna say. After 8 years of storytelling, did they tie everything up in a satisfactory way to the viewer?
They tied up everything nicely. I just feel like it was rushed. There were certain arcs with certain characters that I felt like needed to be stretched out a little bit longer.
Example?
Khaleesi, who was the Dragon Queen. I feel like since the show been on, we've watched her go from like underdog, warrior princess, like season to season, she went from land to land, building an army. We saw how terrible these Lannisters were. Cersei, the one you mentioned, they were a terrible family. We wanted anybody to take them down, mainly for what they did to the Stark family, who I'll explain who the Starks are.
Now the little midget nigga, is he related to the
he's a Lannister.
Not to the Cersei.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's his sister.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So
see, I remember that from the beginning.
Right. So,
and my bad if midget is a bad word. Yes. The little person. Go ahead.
Bless your heart. Mm-hmm. So
I'm trying. I'm striving.
Work in progress. Mm-hmm. So we definitely wanted the Lannisters out of here. So it's like we watched the story build. We watched her build this army, and we fell in love with her. We rooted for her to be the queen. And then
because Khaleesi was
the shit. Like when she was coming with her ships and the army and the dragons, like whoa, like we wanted her to win. Like she was the only one that could really take Cersei down. And I feel like they turned her into the villain that had to die in like 20 minutes. It's like, how do you build her story for these 9 years, just for her to become the most hated person? Oh, she gotta go in 20 minutes of like the
That's
second.
How you felt, Rashad?
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah.
I feel like we needed to see her turn. I feel like they needed to like stretch her turn a little bit. Like we needed maybe a couple more episodes of like, nah, this bitch is crazy. She really gotta go. It's like, okay, she burned down the town. Yeah, that was fucked up. Now everybody's coming.
But sometimes towns gotta be burnt down.
See, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. And even if you didn't agree, even if you didn't agree with the town getting burnt down, I felt like that still wasn't enough for all of the shit that she did leading up to that. Like, without her and her dragons and her army, all the human race would be extinct. It took her army to fight the White Walkers, like the real motherfuckers. Now, in layman's terms, Game of Thrones is all about these different houses trying to be, who rightfully deserves the throne. It's
and when you say houses, you mean like royal families?
The kingdom. Well, it's 7 kingdoms. There's like
that's deep.
The north. 7 kingdoms. Mm-hmm. The north is Winterfell.
What's 7 represent, Digga?
God.
Keep going.
This 7 is Winterfell. That's where the Starks come from. And from the beginning, we were in love with that family, and the Lannisters just did them so dirty over time that's why they became like the main antagonists. Talking about the Starks. Talking about the Lannisters. But there's always been this underlying subplot in Game of Thrones about the White Walkers. Like, that's how the show started. Season 1, episode 1, motherfuckers is in the woods, and here come these blue-eyed monsters. So, while all these different families are fighting to be kings and queens.
They got white blue-eyed monsters on this show? This sounds like something I would love.
Hey, you should have been.
The white blue-eyed monsters is the enemy on this show?
They called the White Walkers. They called the White Walkers.
The White Walkers? And they be killing them?
They finally came.
Oh shit!
And they can only be killed.
Maybe I will binge watch this.
They can only be killed with Valyrian steel.
Valyrian steel. Where you get that, in Africa?
From the land of dragons. It's like
in Africa. Africa, I'm sure.
Actually, no. Valyrian steel might come from like this. I don't know. There's like this weird marriage between like the Starks and the Targaryens, but So there's.
I'm just saying, you're pulling me in with this shit right here. You're pulling me in.
Yo, there's dragons, there's spells, there's evil people. The only shit that's kind of like, there's some incest, a lot of incest. It's medieval times.
How do we?
But you know what it is?
It's medieval times.
No, because it's
that's how we reconcile with it.
It's medieval times. It's that king and queen shit. Keep the
blood
power
together.
In the family. Mm-hmm. The offspring crazy as fuck. It kind of that's all part of this. Like none of it's glamorous. Like none of the sex and shit that's in it's not glamorous. It's like real medieval shit. Like motherfuckers look rough. It's nothing hot and sexy about the show.
Motherfuckers getting thrown, rammed out real quick.
Yeah, like everybody, like there's rape and pillage and plunder, like it's rough. But
a lot of squeaking of
all of it,
of armor suits and shit.
All of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But now, but nobody's a throne. Like I can't. I'm just talking to myself. Like there's nobody that
you're
can.
You're talking to a novice.
No. But I'm saying, like, is there anyone? Okay, you're a Thronie. What was how did you feel? I didn't. Oh, and another thing I didn't like. Wait, before I get to you, sorry. I didn't like what they did with Jon Snow's character.
They sent him to the Night's Watch.
They sent him to the Night's Watch, which is like. The murderers, the criminals. That's where all of the, where all the foul people go, which I guess represents prison. But you know what's interesting?
It represents outcast. I believe.
The outcast. Mm-hmm. No.
Which prisoners are.
What I was gonna say about prison is funny how like they'll uproot young men from families and make them part of the military when you got a whole prison full of murderers and shit. Like, why don't we ever throw any of them on the front line? It was a thought I was thinking like, the Night's Watch.
Well, they used to do that at some point. They would throw prisoners on the front line of certain shit, you know what I mean? Just as like cannon fodder. That would happen in certain wars. Yeah. I don't know how America gets down.
Like how realistic that would be right now.
I mean, because part of it is
But then
why you wouldn't want to put a inmate is you're giving this guy a gun or something now. Unless you're just putting him out there with no gun. You're giving him a gun, he could just turn on you.
And then we know how disproportionate the prison
system
is anyway, so we wouldn't want to do that.
We don't know if he's loyal to the shit. He might just go and take his gun and go on the other side. Like, so you have to be careful.
Imagine dumping a whole bunch of jailbirds and shit in the middle of Iraq.
Like, yo, I'm fucking with y'all. Like, we out of here, bro. They gave us these guns, bro.
Y'all got weed.
Yeah, y'all got falafels. Y'all got the Afghan weed. I'm fucking with y'all. What's the time? 7. So listen, Game of Thrones, right on. You know what I'd like to talk about real quick? Now, something that you didn't see, that I saw. But at least you saw one episode like I saw one episode. Wu-Tang Clan of Mics and Men documentary on Showtime, directed by my boy Sacha Jenkins. Dope. Dope.
I know the first episode was dope. I can't wait to watch the rest.
It was really like, I don't know, man. It was just well put together, and it just brought you back to that time and the footage they had, and
I was gonna say that was amazing.
Oh, they had some great fucking footage from back then. Like, I don't know where my man Sacha secured all this shit from. And actually, we might have the director on the show, on the Godcast, because he is a fan of the Godcast. He watches the Godcast. Shout out to everybody that fucks with us. And yeah, he said he loves the new set as well. But yeah, the way he put this shit together, man, and like, you know, I live on Staten Island. Not that I'm from Staten Island, but I live on Staten Island, so I'm very familiar with the area and all of that. And they had like some dope like aerial shots of Park Hill and just the whole, oh man, it was really good. It was really good. And it let you see some of the, you know, internal conflicts that led to why everybody ended up doing their own thing, and you know. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Did y'all see that on YouTube Live? What'd y'all think? Yeah, it's 4. You can just go to Showtime on demand.
No. That's how I started. I started watching the first one, but then I actually had a very busy past week. I think one night I had like 2 shows in one night, so word. Doing it like old school. So I definitely you know, got some binge watching of stuff to do. I missed the whole like week of everything. I missed the whole run of like I watched The Shy. I gotta get caught up with The Shy. I gotta get caught up with
The Shy.
Have-Nots. Like there's a few things I haven't gotten.
How much?
There's a few things I'm behind in.
Real quick, did you see the homie with the food truck on The Shy got dropped from the show for like sexually harassing one of the sisters?
Oh, in real life?
On the show? Yeah. He got dropped from the show and his management. And apparently it's because he was like sexually fucking harassing one of his co-stars and some of the other girls on the fucking set.
No way.
Little Eazy-E with the little fat boy. Eazy-E.
Oh shit.
I forget homeboy's name and shit.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Damn, well, I'm about to say fact checker when you need one. Did y'all look that up real quick and tell me what homeboy's name is?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, little fat boy. I just seen that yesterday and I was like,
oh, but you know what? But it's already filmed.
It's already filmed, yeah.
Damn, I'm about to say, how they putting him off the show?
I don't know now. They're gonna have to figure that out. Cause
you see what they
did?
did?
I seen they gave him 2 food trucks. They like, here's another food truck, my nigga.
Damn. All right, don't tell me though, cause
you didn't see that one?
The last thing I've seen is like literally 2. I've only seen like 2 episodes so far. I've been busy.
Jason, yes, what? Mitchell? Yes, Jason Mitchell. And Tiffany Boone was the actress that he.
Now, which one is Tiffany? Well,
I'm not sure what part she played.
Can you look up which character is that? Damn.
Yeah. And they said that other females on the set verified that they was uncomfortable
and that's
around
a black
them too.
Ass show.
They said to the point where she had to come there with her fiance to film every day or some shit like
this
that.
Ain't
so that this nigga won't be on her.
So this ain't no me too. These are sisters. Yo, this motherfucker's a problem.
Word.
Wow.
Not good, bro. And
damn.
It looked like he had a promising career and all that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. In this day and age,
I know.
That shit ain't gonna fly.
There's actually another popular show that happened on, but it's not public information, so I'm not gonna reveal any names. But
all right.
I just have personal insight of the situation. But their character got killed off the show because the lead actress was like, "No,
he's too hands-on."
Get
all right, well, listen, we got
not even hands-on. How about in addition to that, dude is trying to be a rapper and said some slick shit in the song too. That was the okay. He gotta go.
Let's take a break. We're gonna come back, discuss more discussions.
Right.
You know what I mean, Godcast. Yeah. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got Team Yanadameen up in the place to be. We got our people on YouTube Live in the house.
We kind of stiff today. Where is everybody?
Yeah, we don't have the whole team, you know what I mean?
It's getting hot outside.
Yeah.
Niggas trying to play hooky.
Maybe, a little bit. That's all right. We love y'all. We're going to see y'all next week.
Word.
Yeah, you want to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$, you know what I mean, patreon.com/you know what I mean, you know what I mean.com/support, bounty.com/you know what I mean.
Yeah.
People, shout out. I got that from my man earlier on YouTube Live. I'm assuming it was somebody from YouTube Live.
Really? He just overpowered you.
Was that 21 Savage coming through this motherfucker?
I thought I was supposed to be the / you know what I mean person.
Oh, you ready now?
Nah, I ain't ready.
You ready?
I ain't ready.
Come on, you I would love you to
All I know is / you know what I mean.
Oh, so that you'll just say that part from now on. Just / you know what I mean.
Teamwork, make the dream work.
Raymond Rosa. Shout out Raymond Rosa. Leon Galway. Shout out to you. So, we wanted to talk about, in this segment, some shit we saw in the news that's going on. And that's there's 8 states right now that have abortion bans going on. These states are Utah, Missouri, Kentucky, Ohio, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
Good old South / Middle America, huh?
Well, Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, and Ohio stop short of. Yeah. Yeah, these motherfuckers,
Now there's a couple variations, right? Some will make an exception for rape and incest, others won't.
Right. Some say
which is retarded.
Once you hear a heartbeat or something, a fetal heartbeat, then the baby's alive and yeah. You know what I mean? They want the baby born. But now what's the science behind this, is what I ask.
Right. Why now?
And why in these specific places? See, this to me reeks of, you know, what the great ancestor Dr. Frances Cress Welsing would describe as white genetic survival. Mm-hmm. Okay, where these motherfuckers are putting into law measures that would stop white women, because make no mistake, this is not for black women. This is for white women to stop having abortions. They need to keep this white race going. From what I understand, their mortality rate for white people is higher than the birth rate. Like, that's some real shit right there.
Right.
And now they're trying to do everything in their power to make sure that more white babies are born. Because there's never been legislation that says, oh, we're gonna make sure more of these black and brown babies are brought into this earth. That's what the legislation is definitely not about that.
And they can't
And
say,
like, look at the racist ass places that these are done. Right. So you know it's not for that. Like the sanctity of the child and all of that they're saying that, you know, these states represent. They're not talking about black children. They're talking about their children. Their white children.
I promise you there's going to be some loopholes, some backdoor, because
if you're black, no problem. That's the loophole.
I was gonna say any one of those, you know, senators that helped this law go through, governors signing the bill, what have you, let one of their white daughters come home pregnant by a black man. I'm curious to see the channels, the measures they would go through.
Right, if they would be willing to have an abortion. Right. Well, again, it's not this. They're not trying to protect the sanctity of black lives, because we already know to them black lives don't matter, from the fetus to the grave, from the womb to the tomb. So even if and especially if their daughter was pregnant from a black man, you best believe their politics as far as that, as abortion as a whole, would change immediately for that particular circumstance. Even if they still believed what they believed. Because if that same daughter got pregnant by a white dude, he'd be like, well, you need to have it. You see what I'm saying? Yo, y'all just need to get married then. But it's not gonna be like, oh no, fuck that, you need to,
It's just interesting that this is all happening now and under Trump's administration. You know, it's like one day you're trying to push all of the entire Latino population out of the country, keep others from entering the country, and now you're banning abortion in these, like, you know, these heavily Caucasian populated specific states. It's like bow. It's just like one after the other. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's how you have to put things together too. You know what I mean? You have
in addition to shooting down shooting down a black person every other day. I see it.
And continually, I just heard this nigga just the other day blame Obama for some shit. I'm like, this nigga is still
blaming Obama.
This Obama shit, like,
Oh, Trump never
Fuck
let it
did
go.
you just say? Oh man.
You notice have you noticed like everything that has gone wrong in his administration when he has to like personally answer for it? He uses Obama's name. Like he'll either claim that it was something that started during Obama's administration, or
it was something like that.
Or he'll just say, well, you know, he did the same thing too. Like when he did the whole government shutdown, like, well, you know, there was a shutdown in Obama's administration too. Like, yeah, Obama shut the country down so everybody can have health care. You're shutting shit down to build a wall. Like, it's kind of a difference.
Right. Yo.
Telling people they should go walk dogs for supplementary income.
That's what he said?
Well, not him, but there was, you know, when they were throwing out all of these ways, because remember, the government was shut down, people started like getting their homes foreclosed, like all of those federal government workers that didn't get salaries, they were trying to come up with ways to help them make money in the meantime. And one of the things that was suggested was walk dogs for supplemental income.
Wow.
Like
there's plenty of things you could do.
Walk
dogs. You can.
I'm like, well, I don't know how many pit
collect
bulls.
cans.
I don't know how many pit bulls in the hood I'm getting paid to go walk, but like, could we be a little more realistic? Like, you know, you're saying this to the millions of Americans that are literally living check to check, like one paycheck away from being homeless, and y'all suggestion, instead of telling him he's fucking retarded, reopen the government so people can get paid.
Right.
Like wasn't this like during Christmas, like the holiday season?
Right, when all the TSA workers
yeah. Like you're telling them they should walk dogs to make up income?
Right.
But I'm sorry, not to
support this nigga with his wall and all that type of shit.
Yeah, but
this whole abortion shit though, it's like
that's crazy.
It's just more evidence of what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was talking about this whole time, like the measures that they'll take for that white genetic survival. And there's many components to this. There's many components to it. Now, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the motherfucking gay marriage on Arthur?
Yes, I did.
The cartoon Arthur?
I did.
For the little babies, Arthur?
I did.
What, is that cool? Like, should we be introducing things like that to the children?
I think that was a very blatant approach. I feel like there's always been evidence in cartoons that, I guess because everything wasn't out in the forefront, we weren't aware of. But how about that Vanity Smurf? Smurf, hey, with the flower in the ear. Like, I feel like Vanity Smurf was always like put in place for representation. And please tell me you ain't know that. Don't tell me you ain't know that Thelma from Scooby-Doo was a lesbian. You know she was lesbian.
Yeah, she looked kind of. I mean,
like,
nobody.
Come on.
Nobody.
Who doesn't know?
Nobody wanted to fuck Thelma. Let's just put it that way. Like,
see, I wasn't putting it in that context.
Because a little nigga got like little cartoon bitches that he would fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Daphne was the hot one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody was checking.
Nobody was trying to fuck Thelma. So that would leave you to believe. See.
But listen,
that's funny because
go ahead. See, wait, no. I'm saying these things because I feel like, you know, in life
That nigga Bugs Bunny was a homo too. He was kissing men left and right. But anyway, go ahead.
I feel like in life we've always been, you know, we've always encountered these people, and at some point we were too young to put a name, you know, to put a name on it, or whatever the case may be, or it wasn't something that was taught to us at that early of an age. And phone ringing. I guess now, because everything is so out in the open and people are just finding out, now you can almost find everything out on the internet. Like once upon a time, your parents had to explain everything to you. Where do babies come from? Like all of these things you had to learn. Like how you learn things were really streamlined through the household. Now, because it's all over the place, I feel like they're doing this just to, you know, to steer the narrative, because it's gonna.
I mean, see, it's all connected is my point. That's why it was kind of segued into this, because it's connected to the whole white genetic survival. Like if we can control who's having babies and who's not having babies, that is good for us, the ones that are trying to survive genetically, who are having trouble doing this. So I need more of my people having babies and more of these people not having babies. So I need to hit them with as many alternatives to having babies, so that my people can go and have babies, and they just are all caught up in whatever I got them caught up in. So they're so caught up financially that if they're heterosexual, so if they're having babies, you know, or trying to, if they're heterosexual, they're first of all.
But putting in cartoons really isn't color specific. You're talking of a worldly thing in general. That abortion.
Yeah, now that's not color specific. No, that's blatantly on all. That's going after everybody. Like that's doing a broad stroke. You know what I mean? They know that all children would watch something like Arthur. So I'm not saying that that's specifically attacked at black people. But the science of promoting certain lifestyles in order to be able to control the numbers. You see what I'm saying? So if I can promote a lifestyle that doesn't promote reproduction, and I get a bigger percentage of the population to indulge in that lifestyle, then pooh, that's a percentage of the people that I don't have to worry about to reproduce. Now I only got to worry about this segment over here, and meanwhile I got my people over here who I'm trying to promote reproduction. Like look at the Hasidic Jews. You know how many fucking children they be having? Like each one of them like be having like damn near 10 kids. That's why they all fucking drive vans out this motherfucker, because they gotta have a van, because that's what they promote. That's genetic survival at its finest. Like where do you see black people doing some shit like that? Like if a black man got 10 kids, it might be with 10 different women, and niggas is looking at him like he did something wrong.
I mean,
hopefully he's taking care of them, because that's another thing that comes into it. You see what I'm saying? And this is something that prevents people from having children, is economics as well. You see what I'm saying? So that's another reason why they want to keep.
People don't have nothing better to do but make some babies, boy.
Yeah, but
I mean, in a perfect world, we don't want that, but yeah.
The stress of having those babies.
When you a couple in love and y'all ain't got money to hang out, 9 times out of 10, you're just in the house fucking. And that is where the teen pregnancy and all that shit comes from.
Yeah, well,
teen pregnancy and all that don't come from having a bunch of money because your shit is in order and your ass is going to the doctor. That come from lack of money.
Yeah, lack of.
And I bet they're banking on that in these poor rural way areas. They're banking on that. They're banking on what 16 and pregnant
Right.
MTV.
Right.
You know, was that Honey Boo Boos, and they counting on them.
Right. But they're also counting on a certain population, certain part of the population to, see that Arthur episode and grow up. Oh, two men can get married, and that's what I'm gonna do when I grow up. I'm gonna marry a man, like the teacher in Arthur, which helps their cause. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want us to have less baby, and not just us. In a way, they want all people to have less children, because according to
I see your
Georgia Guidestones. You know about the Georgia
Guidestones? But I do think TV as I do think television and entertainment as a whole is just trying to be more inclusive. I don't.
That's the guys.
I definitely don't. There is definitely merit to what you're saying. Like, trust me, I get it. But I do feel like everything is hypersexualized. Like, it's not just an abundance of gay sex. It's an abundance of straight sex. Like, it's just sex plastered all over TV.
Well,
movies.
that's how they can introduce all of this to you.
So what happens is, now society has to be, feels obligated to be more inclusive to that as well. So for the gay kid that's watching straight TV, like, ew, this is disgusting, the same way a straight kid might be looking at gay, sex on TV, like, ew, this is disgusting. So it's like they have to be,
So what about a child that's
feeling like they have to be inclusive to everybody.
That's brought up as a king or a queen. How are they included in the cartoon? Do they get included? Do we see somebody on the cartoon speaking on today's math?
No, maybe you should make it. Somebody has to make it.
I'm saying, this was a mainstream cartoon. This is Arthur. Like, I'm just saying.
We know what happens
included,
in mainstream.
Right? We want to include everybody, right?
Do we hear the gods in the earth in mainstream radio? No. What do we hear on mainstream radio?
You hear me? Huh?
What do we hear on mainstream?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
What do we hear on commercial radio? Are we hearing the lyricists and the artists with substance on mainstream radio?
What you saying about the gods, nigga?
Huh?
What you saying about the gods? You say we not hearing the gods in the mainstream radio?
On the mainstream radio? No, not really.
I know. So what you trying to say?
We're not hearing artists with any substance on mainstream radio.
So what the problem is then?
The problem is these higher powers that you feel are doing the same programming that's happening.
Well, I don't even feel they're higher powers. They're just powers.
Okay, the powers that be, if you will. Well, they are higher powers, because if we could just make it happen, it should happen.
We can make it happen, but we don't realize that we can make it happen, so we don't make it happen. But we are the higher power, actually.
Okay.
We're just not. We're not exercising our power.
Then we need to hire some motherfuckers as the higher powers. We need to hire some motherfuckers then, so that we can get properly represented on these commercial mainstream fronts. It's happening. It's television. It's music. It's entertainment. It's film. It's all across the board. It's not specific to cartoons.
And so what do you feel about, like, before we go, what do you feel about, like, just, I guess, abortion just in general? Like, with it? Because I knew people back in the days that used it almost like a recreational, like,
I think it's
morning after pill.
I think it's a woman's. I think it is and should always be like a woman's choice, because at the end of the day, everybody else can stand around and say, "Oh, It's not right to get an abortion. It's not right. That's a baby. That's a baby. But ain't none of them motherfuckers gonna be a part of the raising that baby process. So I don't think they have any say so in what I can do, you know, can and or should or shouldn't do with this baby.
I saw a meme going around and everybody started bandwagon. Men shouldn't make laws that something about that men shouldn't make laws for women's bodies or something like to that effect, like that affect women's bodies or something like that. Like that was going around.
I saw those. I mean, but even deeper than just affecting their bodies, we're talking about bringing a whole nother life into this world. And at the end of the day, that's not going to be anybody's struggle, but that woman's struggle. So all of y'all can't be this mouthpiece for this struggle that this woman is going to have to endure that none of y'all are going to be a part of. Oh, you'll complain though if I need some public assistance. You're gonna complain if that kid doesn't get raised a certain way and ends up being a menace to society. Y'all gonna have all the complaints in the world then. So if I don't feel like I'm equipped to deal with it, shut the fuck up. That's what I think.
Well, listen, people, you heard it from Digga.
Yes.
Talk about this amongst yourselves and see how you feel about it.
Right on.
We gotta get ready to be out. We appreciate y'all once again for joining us for another episode of the Godcast. Yeah. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
If you're not a mean Godcast, peace.